Number 11, write a brief description or a definition of each of the following, and then we have the beta particle. Okay, so this little symbol right here, I mean, it kind of looks like a B, right? But we don't pronounce it as B particle, we pronounce it as beta. So this is just from the Greek letter of B, right? In another video, if you want to know, there are alpha particles, which is the first letter of the Greek alphabet, which is letter A, and then comes B, which is beta, right? And then comes gamma, which we will see in another video, but it's just basically the beginnings of the Greek alphabet. So that's why it's called alpha particle, beta particle. There's a gamma one as well, and they're just picking it off, the beginning of the Greek alphabet. But now we're focusing on the beta one. Now, beta particles is just a fancy way for saying that you're dealing with a subatomic particle, right? So it's got to be either a proton, neutron, or electron, and the beta is the electrons. Now, if we're dealing with nuclear chemistry, we're talking about stuff that generally are unstable, and with unstableness comes high energy. So a beta particle is just a high energy form. So it's a high energy form, or, I mean, we don't even have to say that. We could just say that it's a high energy electron. And that's all that is, right? Electrons, they're not inside of the nucleus. So an electron is not classified as a nucleon because electrons are outside of the nucleus. Nucleons are only inside the nucleus, so protons and neutrons. An electron doesn't have any protons and it has no neutrons because it's its own subatomic particle. And now, if you're doing nuclide notation for a beta particle, you might see it written two ways. I like to put the little, a hyphen in the middle, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Now, if a beta particle is just an electron, generally you might see in your nuclide notation as E for electron. But now, keep in mind for nuclide notation, you have three boxes that you have to fill. You have to fill either the atom or the particle, which we did, we said E, and then we have a top number and a bottom number. The top number is the atomic mass, and the bottom number is the atomic number. Now remember that the atomic mass, right, is the mass of the nucleus. But we just said that electrons, they're not in the nucleus, right? They're outside of the nucleus. So essentially, they don't have an atomic mass. So the number on the top for a beta particle is a 0. And now, what would be the electron's atomic number? Well, usually, the atomic numbers are generally going to be your protons, which are positive. But if you're dealing with an electron, electrons are always negatively charged. And for a neutral atom in general, if you have a proton, right, +1, the electrons would be -1. And that's why for your electron, you would just put a -1. For every one electron, it's a -1 charge. So if you have 2 electrons, you have a -2 charge. You will never turn this into a -2, right? Because a single electron will always have a -1 charge. So if you want to say that you have multiple electrons or multiple beta particles, you have to put a big coefficient in the front, so 2 or 3 or 4. So just know that you might see this notation, which is usually the uncommon one. Sometimes for beta particles, they go straight to just saying the B. The B word. And here we go. Okay. And you got this on the top, this on the bottom. It's literally the same, but instead of saying the electron, you just say beta because it's classified as a beta particle. But either one generally is the same exact idea, the same thing. You wouldn't get any credit off if you wrote it as an electron or a beta because they're identical to each other. But that's all that this is. A beta particle is just a high energy electron. It has no atomic mass, and it has a atomic number of a -1 because electrons are negative. And that's it. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for viewing the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for the support. We have memberships open if you want to be a member to the channel. We got tons of perks there, so you can check it out. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm always rooting for you guys. Good luck on those tests and quizzes. I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right, bye-bye.